All right, well, the Eels had everything to fight for on Saturday night, but once again, their season took a turn for the worst.
The battle for the top four. Rarely do we have stakes like this on the line. Last, now it's along the ground. It's pretty well weighted. It's through Oldfield. It's Brad Parker.
Parramatta holding on for dear life.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I haven't got the answer for you right now.
Tom Trbojevic, there's the cutout ball. There's Ruben Garrick. He goes for the line and scores. It's like clockwork.
Probably need to change things up a bit of training, I suppose. That's the start. Maybe not focus on footy.
Cherry Evans.
What a pass.
Lovely ball.
What a pass.
Here's Saar putting the foot down. He's got rid of play. God, goodbye. Tom Trbojevic scores.
Parramatta are struggling, and yes, they're in some trouble.
Sometimes the harder you work, the more of a hole you dig yourself into.
Oh, Nathan Brown. Oh, he's done it again. So it comes down to this, and Cartwright puts it down.
Oh, he's dropped it.
Dylan Brown put it down. So many unforced errors from these Eels.
We're not showing that we want to play finals.
So kicking the belly of the ball here, Moses. Oh, and then the back heel attempt.
You're not good.
And they're going to need a huge kick here. Moses. Oh! But this is already their second most in a game. Oh, no. Trouble. Brad Parker's night is over. And so is Ryan Madison's. We thought perhaps they'd reached their low point in this, slump, but they've found new depths, unfortunately, for them.
Can you turn this around?
Well, we have to. We have to, but yeah, we can when we need to. And like I said, the responsibility falls on my shoulders, and we'll turn it around.
Well, Parramatta, they are spiralling out of control at the moment. They've still got the Storm and the Panthers to go before they hit finals. Brad Arthur there, you can hear that he's stumped. He's happy to shoulder all the responsibility and the blame, but at the moment, he said, look, we might try and freshen up training. And by that, they didn't train today. They moved hotels, hopefully a change of scenery. But he said, just go to the beach, spend some time with your family, get that mental reset that, maybe has been lacking, because he wanted to take the focus away from football this week, because so far to this point, it hasn't been working. What are you hearing out of Parramatta Eels? Are they a happy camp?
No.
Are they concerned?
No, I've written tomorrow. There's been a bit of bickering in the playing group. It's a delicate sort of one to talk about, Vonnie. So what's happened is when they've all moved into their bubbles, and every team's been allocated a certain amount of rooms and the rest of it, Parramatta have allocated their rooms within the club. The better players have got the better room, so to speak, which is generally the way it works. That's the way the systems work. But what's happened is it's caused a little bit of internal bickering from the point of view of, because wives and girlfriends have arrived, they've got kids, and some of the more senior players, the better players who've got the better rooms with the balcony and all the rest of it, are single men, as opposed to the families living in just a little square room with the wife and two kids, and it's just caused. And I know it sounds really minor and people are going to say big deal, but when you're in that quarantine environment for 14 days and you're stuck in a room where you've got no fresh air, literally no fresh air, the windows don't open in the hotels, and you're eating 3 times a day at the cafeteria, the hotel food, all those little things just compound. And this is just one of the things that's just gone wrong with Parramatta. Last week we praised Manly for how well they've handled life and how they're doing, taking the piss out of Des and all the rest of it. But that's just things compound. They amplify in that situation.
To me, Kenny, that's a reflection of where the Eels are on the field as much as well at the moment. You look at the good sides; they've thrived in this bubble scenario. The Roosters, Manly, Melbourne, Souths, Penrith, they're all flying. But Parramatta, where there's clearly a lot of cracks at the moment, Brad Arthur looks like a coach who's short on answers. He can talk about winning the collision. He can talk about game management all he likes. But at the moment, the way that they're playing, the players have got to accept huge accountability as well. But at the end of it, the buck's going to stop with Brad.
Katie, we've been saying for weeks here there are cracks and tiffs at Parramatta.
Yeah.
That, the Clint Gutherson with the centre three-quarter, when he abused really foul after his mistake. Before that, it was Moses and Gutherson. And they are playing like a team that's not all that tight at the moment.
But the infighting and bickering, that's just stuff we see on the field and hear out of the hotel and things like that. But if we drill down, Brad Arthur's the one who said, look, I understand this is all on my shoulders. So what does he do from here? Because he offered no solutions after Saturday night.
I think what he's done, I think it's a good move, just giving them some time alone. Just, guys, go away and get your head out of football, get yourself out of this environment and just try and recalibrate. The thing about...
I disagree, Kenny. At this stage of the season, 3 weeks out from the finals, you're telling your club, OK, boys, we need to just get away from football. The good sides aren't doing that at this stage. The good sides are just fine-tuning.
Of course they are getting away. They're having this. They're still getting their days off. Well, he's just giving them a couple extra days off to go and freshen up.
That's a sign of desperation.
No, it's not. What we saw on the weekend was not enough desperation. We saw a team that went out against...
They got flogged by 50.
Exactly. And when you're in that situation, when all the guns are aimed at you, as it were last week at Parramatta, everybody was looking for the response from Parramatta. This will show us what they're made of.
And they produced a butter knife.
Exactly, exactly. So you can't keep doing what you were doing. You've got to change. You've got to try and change it up. A mental freshener is often as good as anything physical. You're not going to get them any fitter this time of year.
A day on the beach isn't going to help. They need to work hard. I agree with Hoops here. I've got thoughts about their high performance, and it's nothing new at Parramatta. They're the faders. They fade every year. They peak too early. They do it. They normally crash in the finals. Well, they peaked even earlier this year, and I think only hard work. And I think they need... I don't think they just...
What have you identified as a problem there?
Is it fitness, do you mean?
No, I'll tell you what I've identified as the problem. I think their 5'8", Dylan Brown, has had a really, really ordinary year.
You can't put it all on one man.
I'm not putting it on... No, can I just finish?
On top of that.
Just let me finish. I think their middle forwards are just non-existent at the moment. Reed Campbell-Gillard's gone. Nathan Brown is not a third of the player he was.
But
this supports what you're saying. The only eel to make over 100 metres was the guy on debut, Makatoa.
Can I say this? Why? Perhaps because he was freshest. And to your point about them peaking, well, why wouldn't a freshener, a couple of days away from everything...
1 day off's not going to solve the fact that they're cooked at this stage of the season.
Well, he's given them 3 days off.
Well, that's not going to solve it either.
So your solution, so you two just bump coconuts, and what's happened here...
Don't put words in my mouth.
Hang on, so your solution together... I love the fact that you two are finally together.
Yeah, that's great.
So your solution is that to overcome fatigue and tiredness is to work harder. That's your answer?
Did I say they were fatigued?
We didn't say that, Paul.
You said they peaked
What Buzz has identified is the fact that clearly in the Department of Sports Science, they're getting it wrong, mate. Because it's the same thing, different day every year. And 3 days off at this stage of the season isn't going to solve it.
Can I say one more thing? Their high-performance boss, a guy called Trent Elkin, used to be at Cronulla.
Yep.
Cronulla used to have a fade in them too. I'm not blaming Trent Elkin, but I'm just...
like you are.
Well, I'm not. I'm just pointing it out. There were a number of years where Cronulla, before 2016 they won, were in a position, but they knocked off at the end of the year early. And it's all timing. You know Craig Bellamy and Wayne Bennett time it perfection. Perfect. You know they do.
You can't be missing 37 tackles 3 weeks out from finals.
Manly made 17 line breaks, they made 1.
I don't think a day on the beach, Kenny.
Let me ask you this. Will a day on the beach fix their right edge?
No.
Where in the last 10 games they've leaked 21 tries and the right wing has been a problem for them for 18 months now. Yeah, opposition sides just smash them down that edge.
Hard work's not going to fix that either, because that's a talent problem there. They haven't been on.
I'm not saying hard work solution. I'm saying sports science is clearly an area that they're not getting right.
If you look at their captain, and he was in the media and the headlines last week, Clint Gutherson, he ran for 45 metres. The opposite number one was Tom Trbojevic. He ran for 173 metres and set up 4 tries and scored 1 on his own.
He also did a team that scored 56
anywhere
points
near
as
that.
opposed to
yeah,
the other
Bonnie, there was
10.
a huge possession gap, particularly that first 10 minutes. Parra didn't touch the ball.
What about Mitch Moses? Do you think he's still not 100%?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Parramatta are they're not, their effort is all in isolation. They're not playing as a team, they're not playing for each other. Their effort is all in isolation. They're just the bickering and the conflict, which is only of the mind, level. It's not nothing major. That there's not blokes continually off with each other or anything like that. But it's just not working. They're playing. Their performance on the weekend was of a team that was playing for itself, looking after number one.
Can I just interrupt one more time? I had a little item today, Paul Green. Would he be a suitable replacement for Brad Arthur, and is Brad gone?
I don't see. I think the improvement in Parramatta comes not just in the coach. The recruitment's not where it should be. And I don't. I've said this before. You've got a five-man recruitment committee, 2 of which know football. The other 3, well, Ben Rogers, you could argue. I don't know a lot about Ben Rogers, but he knows, he's in charge of their pathways. He knows a little bit. But certainly the chairman and the CEO, respectfully, they're from non-rugby league backgrounds, and whether they can find the pointy end of the football, I don't know. But to sit there and have a recruitment meetings and it goes to committee every time, the great coaches don't recruit by committee. They have people in their place who they trust to recruit well, but they also have a say over who they recruit as well. You can't do it by committee. Now, Parramatta have got all these checks and balances in place because the club got itself in so much trouble from a corporate governance point of view some years back with cheating the salary cap. Their boardroom squabbles were an absolute disaster. So from out of that, they've had and that's where Jim Sarantinos and McElduff have really done well to get the club going right in that area. But from they should stay out of footy, to be honest. They should stay out of footy. They should leave the football to the football people.